Hey guys, it's Nathan Reed from theTicketToTravel.com. We're talking about time lapses today. In our Living on a Dollar a Day documentary, we went ahead and did a sample testing of time lapse on 3 different devices. So we did it on our Samsung Galaxy device, which is an Android device. We did it on our iPhone, and then we did it on the DSLR. Now, basically the result was pretty much the same for all of them. It's just about how to go about it, which is what we want to share with you. So let's start with Android. To do time-lapse on Android, you have to download an app. We've done recording time-lapse with our Samsung Galaxy camera, and we used FrameLapse app to do that. So here's a quick look at the FrameLapse app. FrameLapse has all the main features you need right away on a free app. And then it tells you how the setup is. Video duration, for 10 seconds, you have to record for 5 minutes. So to change those, it's all customizable. You can do full 1080 on here. You can set your duration, or you can just put infinite, but if you're going for a certain thing, for instance, when we were filming at Buddha Tuk, we just wanted 10 seconds. So we set that, and then you can just make sure that you're at 1080p for your camera and then record. Doing time-lapse for Android is great. Now if you're using an iOS device, there's a free app called HyperLapse that's used mainly for Instagram, which is super straightforward. You can instantly start recording and then make the changes, the alterations of the speeds and everything afterward. So that might be ideal for you. There's also LapseIt, which allows you to do basically what you can do with HyperLapse, but even more. You can be very specific about your white balance contrast, your focus lock, and speed you want to film in, and how high definition you want to film in. You can do all of that, but as of now, I think it was a free app before, but to upgrade, you have to pay around $2. With a DSLR, mostly there's no time-lapse settings. They're not generally used for that. So you basically, at your normal frame rates, can record, and to get good time-lapse from a DSLR, you'll just have to change it in post. Make sure the editing program you're using allows you to shorten or lengthen your clips by slowing them down or speeding them up, which is what you'll want to do for time-lapse. You also have to make sure that you're recording for a long enough time that when you speed it up, that you've taken enough frames to allow it to run smoothly. So for instance, if you want to get 10 seconds of filming like we did, of a time-lapse quickly, then you have to film for 5 minutes and then shrink it down to 10 seconds, which speeds everything up, but allows you to have a smooth frame rate. Now GoPro is the ultimate time-lapse tool, and the Hero 4 series has a time-lapse setting. So you can do all the things in the camera and even view it after. It does a 30 frame per second frame rate in the final cut. So you have varying options. The cool thing about the new GoPros is that it's basically GoPro Hero 4, whichever camera allows you to do time-lapse in 4K. So that is great. The interval options are each half a second it takes a picture, each 1 second it takes a picture, each 2, 5, 10, 30 seconds it takes a picture, or even every 1 minute it takes a picture. Just be aware that in the end, to make a 30 frames per second frame rate, that say you're taking 1 picture every 60 seconds, every minute, that means you have to film 30 minutes to get 1 second. That's a rundown of time-lapse filming on Android, on iOS, on DSLR, and GoPro. So if it helped at all, give it a like. If you have any suggestions, write something down in the comments, and that can help us and anybody else who's trying to get better at time-lapse. Check out our other videos, and we'll see you again.